Don't try to make yourself remember, darling. Don't look for me, I'm just a story you've been told. So let's pretend a little longer, 'cause when we're gone, everything goes on. You were staring at the window, and I said, I wanna take you to the sea. And when I'm better, we'll do everything. I gotta stop making promises I can't keep. But if I was gone tomorrow, won't the waves crash on? Is it selfish that I'm happy as we pass the setting sun? Someday I'll be overcast, but you won't have to cry, 'cause we'll do the grieving while I'm by your side. I said, don't try to make yourself remember, darling. Don't look for me, I'm just a story you've been told. So let's pretend a little longer, 'cause when we're gone, everything goes on. And I'm so scared of getting used to this. All the vines that keep you tethered in your room. Well, someday both of us are leaving here, but for now I'll just bring this sea to you. Will you meet me in the daylight like we did before? Then I felt you on my shoulder, and you weren't suffering anymore. You said, I'm sorry that you worried, but don't apologize. I told you to forget me, but you stayed by my side when I said, don't try to make yourself remember, darling. Don't look for me, I'm just a story you've been told. So let's pretend a little longer, and when we're gone, everything goes on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, and we will have another banger. We have our household favorite, DG with Lurgs, the best support to ever exist in League of Legends. Don't even talk to me about Carrier, he's washed. And then we have Peachfish Woof, the up and coming team with Shy on the top lane. And I have also a new mid laner, I think, in the form of Sok, who admittedly, unknown sources, smurfed on Tyson in-house, so sounds a bit spooky. But with me, I have my favorite top laner, Snesh. That is too good for this league. How are you doing today, Sanj?
Had to bring it up, didn't you? We're doing good. This is the infamous battle between the worst and the best logo teams in SLE, the split. Peachfish Woof coming off a weird or unlucky start to the season. I think they played versus Yin as well. I think they played versus... I mean, they at least played versus Lynx with Kreller. Kreller going absolutely insane in that series. But of the last 2 weeks, they have been picking up some wins and now sitting on 6-6 to Dangerous Games 7-5. And bringing in Sok, which I've actually heard they have been scrimming with the past 2 weeks when they have been playing SLE, but they couldn't make it or show up for the 2 previous series. So it's going to be interesting to see how this new mid laner functions in a team like Peachfish Woof, where you have, from what I've seen at least, just felt a bit of lack of power. Yes, you've seen Shy have some decent lanes, even versus pretty known players in the SLE by this point. But the rest of the map quickly fell apart when they were playing versus better teams. And to this point, we haven't really seen Peachfish Woof play against another team at a close estimate of what we were expecting of them. So it's going to be interesting to see two teams which I would assume are relatively equal matched in skill.
I mean, it's like a do or die for DG, right? And for Peachfish Woof, like you mentioned, they had pretty rough scheduling, but they weren't able to prove themselves against two Vitigen teams. And seeing as things haven't been too hot for Vitigen Pearl, maybe that does speak to maybe a bit to how they will perform in this game. But at the same time, if they get this game, like both teams are kind of on the edge, I would say, of playoffs. So this game, important for both teams. And if Peachfish Woof can show that they will actually win against DG, they might even secure a very solid position maybe for the regular season. But yeah, Sok coming in, big switch. I think it'll be interesting to see. I don't know if he's played too much comp. There's a typical thing where you enter into comp, right? I mean, you know it well as well, but like there will be a lot more like organized gangs, abusing wave states, stuff like this will happen. Quite possibly. So depending on how comfortable Sok is, maybe plays more passive. I'm hoping to see him go more, yeah, like play the way he did in in-houses basically, where he just went very hard. And I'm not sure his shampoo. I saw him play Abi, so I know that he has that on lock. But then also top lane, we have Shy City, right? And I think Shy's best champion from the side of Peachfish Woof is Aatrox, and that's a pretty good matchup in Torn. So I'm hoping to see Shy get the Aatrox against Shy, and if he can get that, I think it's pretty solid for Peachfish Woof draft-wise at least. But yeah, do you have any ideas? I think we're about to see the draft come up right now.
The double Shy top lane matchup, it's going to be an interesting one. What I was about to say is that Camille has been doing really, really well recently in solo queue, and Shy on the side of Peach, Fish Woof have been playing this Camille champion quite a bit, and it's going to be banned out here on the 4-5 by Dangerous Game. Instead, he's picking up the Aatrox as you mentioned. But let's dive into this draft a little bit. Peach Fish Woof picking up the Jinx. We saw from the previous series, this champion is pretty damn strong. And on the other side, we're seeing the Seri answer, pretty common nowadays. Just two scaling bot lanes. On one side, you have the Tahm Kench, on the other side, you have the Braum. Usually in this kind of matchup where you see the Tahm Kench being picked up early, I do like to see the Enchanter coming in for the counter side of the matchup, just so you ensure that you have better scaling. In this game specifically, I would at least like to see that with an aggressive jungler like Jarvan, getting this super hard carry bot lane into the late game, But Dangerous Game has gone for the Braum instead, and on the 4-5s, we see 2 tank bans up in the top lane for the Peaches, for the Peach Fish Woof. They're banning out the Ornn and the Malphite. Shy City's Ornn, especially, I believe, has been one of the bigger talks before the split started. This guy was supposed to be an insanely good tank player. He's had some pretty decent games, but in other games he's also been looking pretty lackluster from the early expectations of this player. And Peachfish Woof, but besides picking the Aatrox, have decided to go for the double bans on the tanks. And Dangerous Games just then decides to go for the Gnar on the R4. Pretty common nowadays. A relatively decent blind. Doesn't really have too many bad matchups. I think there are some matchups that can poke out the Gnar. Like even the Tahm can do pretty well into the Gnar if he just gets ahead of the wave when Gnar is a mini, because that mini Gnar is not going to do anything in the early game, and in the later stages of the game might be able to do something. But when you're blinding a top laner, you really need something that can have a strong point at some part of the game. But now they've decided to go for the Gnar anyways, and Peachfish Woof responds with the Aatrox. Although the matchup is not that great for the Aatrox, I would say that it's winning for the Gnar. The Aatrox scales infinitely better, and also has insane setup for ganks on the top side. So Peachfish Woof definitely has multiple angles to play for. I like that they've gone for the Orion as well, which builds into this team fight comp that they built up. Dangerous Game responding with the Oppression Classic, the Vel'Koz coming out, and it's going to be a showcase of 2 different styles as we head into the game 1.
I mean, definitely agree on most of the things you mentioned. I really do. The thing you mentioned about enchanters, right? Like the Braum, typically something that can peel for a series. I don't hate picking Braum, and you see the Kench, so like Braum into like a melee kind of engage in a way support. Not too bad, but the issue is, right, when the Vi hits with Ori combo, you can't really block that as a Braum. It's quite unblockable, so there is a chance that Zulius gets popped in team fights, and if he does get popped, I feel like the side of DG's comp gets a lot weaker, whereas Peachfish Woof, I mean, they have like multiple threats. Orianna is a threat on her own, Vi is basically a threat on her own, Aatrox is definitely a threat on his own, right? So multiple threats, I kind of prefer that compared to having basically a 2-threat comp from the side of DG. You can count the Gnar as a threat, but I think Gnar, Jarvan are not really like as threatening as a Aatrox Vi. So, but it will be interesting to see. I feel like, where do you think the junglers should path in this game?
I mean, what we can at least see is that Shy City has gone for Doran's Blade, although I would say the stats feel a lot better, especially when you get into the first components. This item is supposed to be good for laning, but Doran Shield seems to just be outperforming it in almost every case. So I wouldn't be too surprised if TCL tries to go to top lane, just make sure that nothing goes wrong for the Aatrox. Because realistically, this bot lane shouldn't really die. It's kind of hard for Dangerous Games to actually find good setup for a good gank onto the bot lane. They might be able to burn a flash, but shouldn't really happen. Nothing else should really happen realistically here. So Jarvan starting on top side and Vi starting on bot side, indicating that both of the junglers are going for 2 different pathings here. Jarvan trying to get this bot lane ahead or making sure that they're fine, and this Vi has opted into pathing towards top side. Note though that both junglers has been caught on vision, Sock I believe, and Lurgs, making sure that their team has full information on where the junglers are at this current time.
Very nice indeed. Yeah, so both laners, or like both sides, I guess I should say, very aware of where they are. We see a bit of trading come out in top lane. Shouldn't be anything too bad. Shy can just let this, or no longer human as it's called in the game, can just let the wave crash. You'll be able to farm safely. And the Gnar will be in a bit of an awkward position, but unless he stays for too long, he shouldn't be caught on a gank, since this wave will be crashing. Why should Wood have to skip a camp? We have an invader from iPlay You Listen. He's looking for an experimental angle here on mid, since they know where he is. Bot lane also, as you mentioned, not too gankable. We'll have to see if Sok paths to the wrong side. There could be an opening. He's kind of leaning right, kind of close. And here it comes! Big EQ from iPlay You Listen, which will force the flash out of Sok in mid lane. Nice angle actually out of I Play You Listen.
Yeah, and Stock having some
Oh, he's going
difficulties
again.
here in the early game. I Play You Listen still trying to get this play to work, but at this point it's a bit too
Oh,
much. But
TSL.
TCL,
He's back on it, baby, and oppression. He'll just walk away. These I mean, these junglers love ganking. I was about to say, DG loved that Raptor spot, as we all remember a fond moment with our goat Lurgs, where he would flash that wall. They are playing for the Raptors, baby. They love the Raptors sweet spot. And flashlight on Oriana, TP's coming in from oppression. This already could get caught trying to greedy shove this wave. I mean, Jarvan is behind right now. No mana, no flash. Kind of an awkward position, and does the Vice save? EQ missing, and E from oppression also missing. Kind of a disaster. TCL, he deals damage right now, and I Play Listen has to flash out in a kind of awkward fashion here from DG. They kind of lose the advantage that they had.
yeah, and Sock showing some mechanical skill. Although the champion knowledge might not be there for the new Peachfish Woof player. He's definitely a good player, and he's been a master jungler in this current season.
Oh.
And showing some good spacing there in the mid lane, leading to, I mean, at least a good play for them, as the Jarvan lost his flash in the interaction, and Sock just easily gets back to the mid lane using his TP, and everything is fine. And we mentioned about Sock, how he might interact with this new team, how he might bring a new light to this Peachfish Woof team, and I think we have to be looking at the link-up play between Sock and TCL, if he's able to maybe micromanage his jungler to do some actual good plays for Peachfish Woof, and
the jungler
it's going to be
he's gonna be like, come here now, I want you mid now, bro. This is a gank right now. Where are you, man? We need to be on Corrupts right now. He's on them right now, man. Yeah, we'll have to see. It would be funny actually to hear those comments, like Sock being a jungle man, and TCL is just like, what the hell, man? I'm just working here, cuz. Yeah, that would be interesting.
I Play Listen though, going for the grubs, and TCL
Lurgs.
finding Lurgs.
Woo! Q missing from Vi though, and Lurgs kind of just shad walking out of red side. Not sure what they were looking for, but yeah, Grub's going over right now, so TCL kind of lacking tempo, but he might be looking for oppression here in mid. Flash still up, no ult, but he has Q flash on Vi. Might be looking for it, and they have the Ori ult to follow up if anything hits here. Will he charge it? Will he do it? Bot lane is on the roam though. Can be a bit spooky. Will he look for it? This is the best angle you're gonna get. Not doing it. He's waiting. It doesn't get better, man. This is like the stock exchange, man. The stocks aren't going up more, man. We can't be sitting here all day. Okay, ping them off. Stock micromanaging his jungler, telling him, nah, we're losing camps. Go get Crab. Crab is good. We love Crab. But yeah, kind of an uneventful early game so far. There might be a bit of tempo going over to PFV now, though, since they're looking at Dragon, and with the wave crashing bot lane and wave crashing mid, it's hard to contest this Dragon from the side of DG without giving up waves, which is not ideal in early game.
It seems like a possible contest coming in here from Dangerous Game. I Play You Listen is here now. Lurks walking towards the Dragon Pit. Sock,
Oppression low. He flashed! Oppression! He flash ulted to the left. Here we have W coming out of Karma. Jinx traps going in. Lurks has to flash out. Goes from Swallow. He will be definitely safe. TZL queuing back, and they stay alive. But that mid play, Oppression getting caught by Sock, and he's already showing this power you mentioned for the side of Peachfish Woof.
Yeah, and Oppression knows something that we don't, as he flashes almost in place, but at least not out of the range of the Oriana, and ends up falling when casting his ultimate. A pretty disastrous turn of events for the Vel'Koz. He will be able to pick up most of the wave. Didn't lose too much in that note, but Peachfish Woof picking up the first blood, getting this flash and ghost in the bot lane, and also securing the dragon. And you could say that Dangerous Game is kind of overplaying their hands here. They had the tempo for the grubs, but they decide to go for a double play here, and trying to contest this dragon was just a tiny bit too much, especially as Oppression failed horrendously in mid lane.
Horrendously indeed. Yeah, and I mean, we also see Shiner's Aatrox. He went for the safe Ninja Tabi, or less plated steel caps they're called. I'm sorry, I can't change that. They're called Ninja Tabi. But he has been inching out a little bit of a CS lead. I think the wave he based on was not the best, but he's doing quite well for this being Gnar or Aatrox into Gnar. Not really being abused, keeping even CS. And we'll have
No
to see,
flash
like,
on the
oppression,
Vel'Koz
no
now,
flash.
though.
Yeah, like, they are down a bit looking. Yeah, he's very dead. Hovering the wrong side right now. That is disaster. Insta ult coming out. Shockwave on both targets. Soak being patient. Can TCL clean oppression? He can. Flash out of Soak to keep himself alive from iPlay Listen. Jinx ult going haywire right there. We have an all-in top lane as well. Gnar ult coming out of Shy City. But in the end, it's just a one kill going over to Peachfish Woof. But they are showing much more patience. Ooh, W out of Tom Kench. He just has EQ from Jarvan, or only E. He's kind of chilling on it. He doesn't want to pay the mana cost.
Yeah, good play coming in from Peachfish Woof. Capitalizing on the misplay from Oppression earlier that we saw, and it's just good communications coming in here from the side of Peachfish Woof. Or
Apparently,
I'm about to say PFW, man. It's
Peach
it's
or
actually
Woof. Peach, fish, or Woof. We have to settle for one. Peach, fish, or Woof. With a fish?
yeah, Woof. You
With a
know?
woof, woof, woof. They're gonna bark for me, Sanch? Damn. Didn't know we were weak-sided like that. That was crazy, man. So that was Solace done to you? You're going to woof now? Aye. But yeah, we got a little bit of info from the chat that apparently the all-in top happened because no longer human aka Shy was watching mid, which, I mean, I'm also watching mid, can't blame him. That's a caster move. I play a listen is once again looking for something here. I'm not sure what. He's standing in a bush. He's waiting for something to happen. Sok does have flash down. A Cataclysm could kill, but it doesn't have it yet, so we'll have to wait for the timing. And meanwhile, TCL can just farming, and yeah, not too many objectives up. There are grubbers, which both teams could look to go for. They have Tom Kench up here, and all it kind of happening here from Shy City. Will he decide to ult though? Q coming out, but no longer human, sustaining quite well. Ult does not connect with the wall. He's just kind of chilling right now. And we have a Lurgs in the river. This is a 4v4 right now. Free on this side. Stock has ult, but TCL does not have it yet, so we'll have to see. Flash is still down on oppression, so they could just decide to go hard on him. And this start on Grubs is a bit greedy, I think, from the side of DG. We'll have to see.
I mean, they have some control, but
They see oppression here.
Shy
W
City
coming in from
also in
Tom
the grid.
Kench. Oppression, a kind of awkward spot. The Grubs are going to be leashed back, and both teams are kind of trying to dance for this positioning here.
I mean, it might be difficult for no longer human to fight this, as Shy City is now channeling up his Mega Gnar, but Peachfish
EQ
Woof
coming
will
in
go
from
for the
Jarvan.
fight.
Braum ult as well, but Vi ult into the Jarvan, and we still have ulti on Aatrox. No Gnar ult right now, but Braum passive, kind of huge, and they're stuck here. Oppression on the side. Will he do the cannon? He's not opting against it. They just want the grubs. They're happy to not fight. And both teams very patient and respectfully, I must say.
Yeah, dangerous game. Finding the control over the river. Pushing a kind of no longer human in a kind of rough spot. Karma has to use his ultimate and has to flash away from the play as well. And it ends up being 6 grubs going over to dangerous game. But I don't know how you feel about this this objective. It's been kind of hyped up at the start of the new season. It was supposed to bring a new light into top lane. A fresh, a breath of fresh air, so to say, but it hasn't really seemed that way from
I mean,
the amount of games I've seen so far.
Sanchez say it like it is. We don't want to be weak-sided no more. We want the strong side top lane! But we didn't get it. Grubbers are useless. Unlucky. GG. Coach are never giving us strong side. But it is what it is. Grubbers, I think they're still a good objective. Like, I prefer Grubs to Heralds. I will say that, but yeah, as you mentioned, Grubs, 6 Grubs, they don't win really any games unless you're ahead. But Dragons, still a lot better. And 2 Drakes, by the way, to Peachfish Woof. They're looking to kind of scale. Maybe they're looking for the Drake win condition. And I mean, right now they're ahead like 600. They went down a bit after the contest on Heralds, but CS mid looking really good. CS on bot lane looking really good. Top lane kind of even at the moment, but that's a counter matchup, so still doing fine.
Yeah, I mean, as long as the Aatrox does not fall too far behind, this is going to be a completely fine game state for the Aatrox. Although Shy City is finding some decent trades onto Shy or no longer human, it's not really resulting in much. And PFW are stacking these Drakes and playing on the Drake timers, making sure that Zog has the push when they go for these objectives on the bot side, and making it really difficult for Dangerous Game to even think of contesting them when the side of PFW has the complete control of the river.
Yeah, they're just kind of scaling, but here comes IPO. Listen, he's looking for this angle again, and Flash is up though for Sok. Nice shockwave, doesn't get into the tower aggro though. Ult comes out of oppression, but this is not enough damage. But they do force the Flash out of Sok, so that's not too bad. Flash time being down. There are 4 minutes to punish this for Drake, so... Meanwhile, TCL is looking to swing top lane, no longer human, getting ulted by the Nard, but Vi, the savior, and he gets the lifesteal and the ult coming in, and Q, boom, that's a kill over to the Aatrox. And that's a nice punish out of TCL.
Yeah, and it's a really nice kill for the Aatrox, as this matchup can swing really quickly for the Aatrox if he does manage to get ahead. In this case, he does pick up the kill, and there seemed to just be no response from Dangerous Game. They go for the mid lane play, but this Vel'Koz pick is just not putting in the... I don't know, the effort that you'd want this pocket pick to show. But
I mean, he did have counter, right? Like, you expect a bit more out of counter picks in general, right? Like, when you get a counter in top, you know, like, it's that kind of meme, right? Like, top lane counter picked, I'm depressed, I haven't touched the wave in 10 minutes, I'm under my turret, I can't do anything right. And then, like, in mid, it's still a less of a counter pick, right? But if you saw last game, I mean, the Zoe against the Karma, he basically poked him out level 1, and I don't even think he counter picked, he just picked Zoe raw, right? So, having a counter, you definitely expect to get a little bit more than getting 20 CS down.
yeah, but I will say that I respect Oppression going for a pocket pick, a champion that he probably has a lot of games on, but it's just not showing this game. And Vel'Koz in general in this game, playing versus the Vi, playing versus the Aatrox, and the Orianna that can just throw her ball at the Vi when he engages, is not going to be an easy fight for Oppression.
Dude, listen, going in here on Orianna. Bromeld missing barely though, but here comes Cataclysm. No flash, and Orianna will go down, but Choco dealing a lot of damage. Orianna already has the value, but the triple Q from Aatrox missing, and is trying to get onto the Jarvan. But meanwhile, Lurk's Cataclysm taking a lot of damage from Sok and Karma here. Oppression though, getting a lot of good Qs in here. The damage is definitely showing. Meanwhile, Svullo solo killing Jinx in the bot lane river, getting hunted down by the Seri. And now I'm not sure where the situation will go. I play Listen is still on the objective, a little bit greedy, decides to drop it for now, and TCL will take it over. No way he can contest it back now.
And it's a skirmish where nothing lands, as Peachfish Woof takes a swing at the counterplay here in the river, but nothing is seen as a return except for Svullo finding a solo kill onto Last Impression. Last Impression has had a decent game so far. He has been able to just keep up in the CS, and nothing has really come from this bot lane, but Shy now actually...
TCL has ult, will you look for it? No E right now, but they can't really reach. Maybe if he was there a little bit quicker, but they do have vision on that TCL is here. But Tomkesh W, he does have the ult though, shoves them back. But here comes Vi hitting the Q into ult. Aatrox ult coming out, here comes the Qs, and that is Shy City going down to Shy, no longer human. I play you listen cannot defend it, and meanwhile Seri going down in mid lane, probably a shockwave coming out of Sok here.
Yeah, and Shy City first disrespecting with the TP, and then not even respecting the Aatrox, who happily just fights him in Mininar there, and
yeah, it's looking
eventually
like
just drops down again to this Aatrox, and this Aatrox is now going to back and get this Profane Hydra, and is completely looking fine to just scale in this game. And
yeah,
I think Peachfish Woof will be extremely happy about that one.
I mean, they have 2 Drakes, 10 seconds going on here, so next Drake will be up, and I mean, I would like for DD to contest it, but I don't know if they're in a position to do it. They don't have any positioning, the jungler is top lane with no TP, oh no, the top lane is top with no TP. Jungler is in base, so their positioning right now a bit awkward, and Peachfish Woof is going to start this up, and they are not quite there, right, to even contest it, and even if they could be in a position to do it, they're a bit behind, so I'm not sure if they just get to pick up these Drakes for free. I mean, an Aatrox with Cloud Soul, a Vi with Cloud Soul, I mean, I don't know, this is looking quite rough right now for the side of DG. I feel like they have to try and really make a play somewhere on the side, right, with the Jarvan and the Vel'Koz, somehow finding a pick maybe in side lane or in mid lane.
I mean, what Dangerous Game is trying to do is to try to play for the tempo on the waves and trying to get the shove in, but this Orianna just permanently has Vel'Koz locked up in lane, and it doesn't really ever seem like Dangerous Game has any move into this bot lane river, as Jinx just one-shot the waves and so does Orianna.
The
And it
question
makes
is,
for a
will we get
really
any
hard
solo
time.
kills? Will we get some solo kills here? I mean, now they're hitting the item spikes, right? Like Triforce on Gnar, Profane on Aatrox. We have item on Orianna, Seraphs coming in. I want to see them maybe do some action inside, because I feel like inside lane, as you mentioned, oppression on a pocket pick. Maybe he plays more for out of lane. It's hard to say with these pocket picks. Like, some people just kind of scale out, like Trululu. Good example, where he will kind of just lane it out and then his effect comes in later in the game. So, not sure. We'll have to see how they do it, but I still think there are angles for DG to play this game out. And there are definitely ways where they can kind of win on side lane, using Gnar, Jarvan, or Vel'Koz.
Yeah, for sure, but this soul point is going to put a small timer on this game, as I believe that Peachfish Woof actually does have the better scaling in this game as well. Maybe the Vel'Koz shows something we haven't seen thus far, but as of right now, this is a really favorable position for PFW. And you mentioned that Gnar has picked up the Triforce, as well as the Aatrox has picked up the Profane, but you gotta realize that Gnar just sold his Doran's Blade to finish this item, and the stats that Doran's Blade gives at this time is probably
it carries
not
over,
worth
yeah.
selling at this point.
No,
But
I mean, I
he
feel like
will
you
end up
take it,
getting
yeah.
the Trinity Force.
Yeah, like when you buy Dorans, I kind of agree with what you mentioned earlier, like in laning, Doran Shields is better, but it kind of drops off really fast when you get out of lane. Whereas Doran's Blade, you keep that on Camille or you keep it on Aatrox, like that stuff starts to hit so well in mid game. That 3.5% lifesteal is just really nice to have. And comparing that to like the flat health region of Doran Shield, it's just a big difference in item, right?
Yeah, I believe I read some statistic on it that it had a 175 gold efficiency. The item stats are completely busted for the amount of gold it costs, but now
Up here right now, they
Dangerous
try
Game
to
looking
siege
for
the
a play
turret.
into mid lane.
Swillow is walking up aggressively. They are going to have 4 people. Will we see TPs come in? Root coming out. Jinx E stopping the Jarvan EQ forward. But they do manage to just rotate over and take this mid lane kind of for free. They will take some damage bot lane, but opening up the map from mid is very nice, I think, for the side of DG. Mid turret worth a bit more, I would say, macro-wise, than bot turret. But let's see, fight in mid lane here. Karma kind of onto Lurks here. Trying to kill out Karma here, but it's a Tahm Kench. He's very tanky and just flashing out. They are chilling on the side of Peach. And yeah, I mean, getting the flash at Tahm Kench, not too bad. Their ults will be back. But meanwhile, you will see that, as you mentioned, this matchup swinging and the flash Q3. But Shy, he's too clean, kiting the Aatrox. And we get the shutdown over. And maybe Shy City is the hope that DG need to win this game. And here we have Herald mid, though.
Nice for Shy City, picking up the shutdown onto the Aatrox. Aatrox also using his flash in that fight. But it will just be a kill over to the side of Dangerous Game, and Dangerous Game also picking up the mid lane tower is going to make it so much easier for them to play on the side lanes. We've been mentioning that they have been struggling in terms of this Orianna just constantly pressuring the bot side. And now, as of well, the Aatrox died, but he did start to get pressure onto the Gnar in top lane as well. But this mid lane tower could change everything, as if Dangerous Game were to play for this mid lane hard, then it would be really difficult for Sok and No Longer Human to play forward in the bot and top lane. Now the dragon is spawning in 45 seconds, but Tahm Kench, Vi and the Orianna is looking for this top lane tower instead, trying to get some more gold is maybe the call here, but when you're sitting on this soul fight, I feel like you're in a pretty good position already as Fish Woof, and I feel like this should be a fight you're favoring.
Definitely. I mean, I would love to fight here for the Drake. And as you mentioned, like this time around, DG, they have been slower on the Drakes most of the game, but now they're in a prime position to take this Drake. Recognizing that it's Soul Point, they have free control wards, they are wards bot river, they see everything right now. The all-seeing eye, the big brother. And meanwhile, Peach will be here in time, but they will have to walk into the vision of the red side. So depending, I will not see how they do this. They could just pressure the mid wave here. They're trying to walk it into the tower, and the side of DG will try to stop them here. But they're not on Drake, and meanwhile the side lane of bot lane are still pushing up, and the Aatrox will be on the flank. So Orianna basing right now, probably looking to buy and then TP over to the fight on Cloud. I wouldn't be surprised to see a TP coming right now. Karma maybe putting down a TP ward. No, she's running out. They're kind of dancing on the Drake. I play Listen kind of staying on it. Here comes TP, mid lane and in the river. This will be a 5v5. Lurk's kind of fighting with Karma here. Both teams keeping it cool right now. The mid wave is good for the side of Peach, so they might try to get to tower. Cataclysm coming out here onto Jinx though, but she has both sums up. Flashing out, Shockwave onto I Play You Listen, so a solo man Shockwave. Here comes Jinx Rocket though, and Swallow trying to tank it for his teammate, but unfortunately the AoE clipping I Play You Listen. And that's a kill over to the side of Peach. Now they have almost no engage on the side of GG, so how are they going to approach this fight is a bit interesting. Shy does have good rage bar right now. If he can find a nice E to engage with the Gnar ult, maybe that's the way they want to start this off. Here it is, here comes the E! Nice shove back into the tower, but Aatrox Vi going instantly onto the Seri. Swallow does have some stuff trying to kite, does go down to Vi though, and meanwhile the Jinx is just resetting, and TCL actually getting out of that situation. Meanwhile, no longer human trying to run up this tower, killing this Braum, but he's taking a lot of damage right now. And oppression on the flank here, trying to get something to happen. Q coming in, does not have ult though, but still has flash. Trying to do anything here to try and stop this dragon, but it's all a little bit too late and too little for the side of DG. And we got mid turret oppression again. Oh, last impression also not having any sums, but does get the reset. Trying to run on top side, but they're actually on bad tempo now, so maybe this Drake actually goes over to DG. They're probably gonna walk on it right now.
They could be playing for the Baron.
They could be. I don't think they will. I think they're a bit scared about the soul point. I'm also not sure how the... I mean, I don't know. Vel'Koz probably has good Baron damage. Is the passive max health true, right?
Yeah, I was imagining that Peach Fish Woof just reads the play for Dangerous Game to go for this Drake and just goes instantly onto the Baron. It would have been pretty interesting to see, but it ends up just being pretty good macro coming in for PFW, just playing for the mid waves. And although they do kind of overextend, leading to some bad tempo onto the Drake fight, and eventually Dangerous Game does end up getting it. It does skyrocket their lead, and almost netting like 2k gold there in that fight, and now no longer human looking onto Swallow here, but no.
Ooh, battle coming in via trying to Q forward, finds the Gnar actually, trying to go onto him. Brown passive here though, will we get stunned up? Aatrox has the ult World Ender, and nice Orianna Shockwave there catching him, but now they're stuck in the Cataclysm. Meanwhile, oppression with ult on the side lane. Aatrox is going down. I Play Listen able to walk out. Jinx ult does not manage to clean him here. No summoners. The slow and Braum ult coming out will catch the Jinx off guard, and shutdown going over to Swallow. Still has ult up. They might try to run down the enemy Peach Fish Woof, but currently no engage. But nice 2 for 1 there going over to GG.
Yeah, and it comes off a small overextend here from TZL. He tries to get onto this Gnar, and they do eventually get him, but stacking up like this against the Jarvan, just finding a massive ultimate, and so many flashes being burned in the last fight means that oppression just gets to free hit, and so does Swallow, and none of the carries of Dangerous Game are in any position for PFW to try to commit to, and it just ends up in a favorable trade for Dangerous Game. And when behind, you gotta just take those small fights as a massive or way bigger win than what you would usually expect to get.
Definitely, but now we'll have to see. Like, both sides are definitely looking at this Baron, but currently Peach Fish, they're opting for the 1-3-1. They have a lot of waves to catch, and when you have both TPs up, 1-3-1, a standard way of playing it. Meanwhile, Shy City does not have TP, so he needs to play topside right now, whereas Oppression will probably try to hold the bot lane. But they currently, DG are all stacked up in mid lane, so Oppression will move over to catch the wave, so they're kind of just trading vision right now, I feel like.
Yeah.
Probably trying to protect it.
And it's Dangerous Game, definitely feeling the pressure from all of this vision that Peach Fish Woof has established on the top side. They need to clear out this vision, they need to have eyes on this river, but no longer human. Using his ultimate and eventually does get the flash out from oppression. That's a massive summoner spell for a control mage like Vel'Koz that really needs some space from the enemy carries on the side of PFW, and now this will just be a free Vi ult, or even if they just find a small Aatrox QW on him, he might be in a really rough spot. And now PFW will be looking to play for mid lane here, but Shy City going on to no longer human.
He's going to fight him up, and the rage bar is very close. When that Gnar ult hits, he's going to be instantly dead. But nice flash out of No Longer Human. Flash after from Shy City, missing the E over the wall, unfortunately. So he does not get that solo kill, but maybe that is for the best, because the entire team of Peach was there. So even if he gets that kill, he would have been cleaned up. But yes, as you mentioned, flash timers, they are low, and Svulu still does not have flash. Finding a Vi ultimate onto Svulu will be big, and they're just starting a Baron right now. They're a bit too confused about what to do, and meanwhile Aatrox has TP top lane, so he's not joining the fight, and they know his TP is down, kind of behind his team. Meanwhile, DG are kind of walking in there. They're taking a lot of poke from the Seri and the Vel'Koz, as well as Baron, and they're still staying on this Baron though. Kind of a greedy call right now. Shy City though does not have rage bar, but Sok taking a lot of damage right now. Trying to ult the Gnar, does get it, so Shockwave comes out. Shy City almost dead, but Aatrox almost going down, but gets ulted out by Karma. Meanwhile, Jinx in the backline, no one is on her, going to get the reset here. But meanwhile, Seri trying to clean the backline. Sok going very low, no more rotations. Nice Sonya's though to stall out. Maybe the ult from Seri will drop, it will not. He's still going. And meanwhile, Aatrox with a huge Q! Damn, looking like Zeus on Shy. Got the rename. Meanwhile, Jinx is still uncontested, but the ADC from Sun DG going down, and Shy City has TP'd back. But his rage bar is building, and probably this fight is going to fizzle out in a 2-for-2. And we are unable to get a clean sweep from any of these two teams.
Yeah, and it ends up in a 2-for-2 trade. It's a chaotic fight. PFW looking for the turn, but Dangerous Game just using their poke. They're using their range advantage pretty well here. But eventually they overstep, and No Longer Human or Shy just channels this in the Shy. Finds this Q, this massive Q onto the Seri, making it a even trade in a position where, with the Vi dead and the Orianna, this could have been a play for Dangerous Game to go onto the Baron. But overstepping there leads to disaster, and PFW are going to be screaming about that one as it completely saved.
Lurks though, walking into the enemy team. We love Lurks, he's back at it again, but he's unkillable with the max E, and lot of damage from the side of DG. Ult coming out of oppression, but TCL getting out of there, but Karma extremely low, and now I'm not sure they want to take this fight anymore. No Longer Human. Shy's ult will also time out, but meanwhile Braum, aka Lurks, barely has a scratch on him, and this is Cloudsoul we're talking about. Maybe they are willing to greed a bit for this. Will they try again for it? They don't have the ults except for Shockwave. Sok is looking for it. He's one man spacing up. He's an army right now. Shy getting the W onto I Play You Listen, but Drake is low. TCL is trying to look for the steal here, but no, he will get zoned out. Q's back respectfully, and that is a dragon picked up for DG. No soul, and Shy City is looking here for Sok. Nice Shockwave though, dodging the W into a Sonya's. The engage from Jarvan not hitting, but he's still stuck in a very awkward position. Should be cleaned up here. Nice eats from Karma, zoning him out, and No Longer Human gets Cataclysm. Will he go down though to Jinx? That's a nice rocket. It's still a 1-for-1. We still can't clean these teams. I want them to clean sweep, man! Where is the damage?
Yeah, but Dangerous Game already used the damage in the Vel'Koz, but Svulu not finding anything there, as it felt like it was supposed to be a really good fight for the side of Dangerous Game, but Sok playing it extremely well, finding the exact timer on the Sonyas that he just needed to get away, and Karma just pulling him out of the fight. This Taunkench has found value with his ultimates time and time again onto the Aatrox and onto the Orianna, and also onto the Jinx when Gnar tried to ulti them in mid lane in the previous fight.
Yeah, Karma
This
is doing
Taunkench pick is keeping Peach Fish together.
I mean, definitely.
And
Every
it
time
makes
they're
for
overextended.
fights to be like way harder for Dangerous Game, which really has like a hit and go or like press R comp. Besides Svulu, who is trying to find more and more damage here, he does have a 4 items now, and although we feel like Dangerous Game has pulled themselves back into this game, they're not finding the big fights that you would expect from these previous fights.
No, I mean, both teams are looking for the same objectives. They're fighting for them. It's just that no side can get this clean team fight where they just sweep the enemy team. And in the end, it just means that almost no objective gets taken, right? Only Drakes, because Drakes usually don't deal too much damage. But no team is able to go on the Baron. Once again, we're back here. We're dancing with the dragon. Both bot laners do have TP, or the mid laners. I call them bot laners because they're in bot. But both mid laners do have TP, so side laning is completely legal at the moment. But yeah, none of these teams are really being too proactive right now. Both just kind of scaling, and I'm not sure who really wins the scaling game. I think both teams are kind of fine. So it's going to come down to the late game engages here. Who will find the angle first? Because if any of these teams at this point in the game, 33 minutes in, death timers will be long. If any of these teams get Baron and they clean sweep the enemy team, it's almost an end angle. So they're kind of just been waiting all game for the fight to happen, and we're about to see who wins. All summoners almost up for the side of DG, and almost bot lane doesn't have too many sums, but they're about to get him pretty soon. So depending on how the teams wait it out, most people who have summoners, we're just gonna have full out 5v5, I think.
Yeah, though you can see some small item discrepancies on the top side of the map. 3 items for the Aatrox, 3 items for the Orianna. Although now we see a small skirmish here in the jungle. I played Listen finding TCL, but will just back away, and you can see a notable difference from how the previous interactions in this topside river has been. Now Dangerous Game actually finding some control here and pushing
Baron,
Peachfish Woof out of this barren river. Now,
No Ra, but
I
that's
would
an
imagine
Orianna.
that the next fight is going to be for this Baron. And with the current game state, I feel like the side who ends up picking this one up will be heavily favored in this game.
I actually have a feeling it's gonna be for Drake. Like, I have a feeling none of the teams are going to pull the trigger on the Baron. I'm not sure, because TCL is looking to 1v1 oppression here in top lane with Vi, but now Peachfish Woof are actually in a position here to try and go for it. I do not really like Raw starting it though, but here they go. They are going to start it, and they are going to force DG to come out of the red side, and Baron is dying quite fast right now, but if they decide to finish, it will be a 50-50 flip, and they are looking to 50-50 flip. There comes the Shockwave out of stock, taking a lot of damage on the iPlaylist. He comes in, trying to steal, but Vi secures the Baron. So Baron going over. Shai City looking for the ult in the backline. Will miss the engagement. Meanwhile, Vi ult going into Svulu, going low, but he's not quite dead. Aatrox trying to clean up. Missing though, the flash coming out of Svulu, still alive, but the Jinx Rocket cleaning the backline, and the Reset City is here. You can call him Katarina, because he is attack speed for days. Rocket's coming out. And there is the clean sweep. He's trying to run out the pressure right now. Hitting the W. Slow comes in. TCL on the flag. Here comes the Q. Q flash coming in, and he's flying over the blast cone. They're kind of running around the river, being boosted by his Orianna. And he's tired of this game. He's beating him up. Boom! And that should be the end for this game. And Peach should clean up here on the mid lane.
Yeah, and Peachfish Woof feeling confident enough to go for this Baron flip. They do end up getting it, but the fight, when Dangerous Game tries to step up to Peachfish Woof, just ends up really good for the side of Peachfish Woof, and it's going to end up in a 1-0 scenario for the Peaches that have been struggling to pick up wins, but now they're on the rock and roll, and now they're sitting on 7-6.
They are definitely, as the initial article, unfortunately I don't have anymore, I'm very sad about it, but the initial article mentioned contenders, and Peachfish Woof are showing up to be a contender in all rights. Definitely here, and Sok looking like a beautiful addition to this team. It looks like they're just clicking a lot better. Not quite there yet on cleaning up the team fights like there, but I mean, Sok only having played for a short while, kind of expected, and I still feel like he did very well for all rights, and also TCL kind of linking up well. So yeah, they definitely have more of this power that you mentioned. Who would you say, Senj, for this first game? Do you have any MVPs you're thinking about?
I mean, it's gotta be Sok, because you're seeing a very different Peachfish than what we've seen so far in the SLE. They're playing for these drakes, they're playing for the timers, they're playing for the waves, and once they have tempo on the map, they do end up just getting the drakes and getting themselves in a really comfortable spot. Although the execution was maybe not there in the mid game for the Peachfish, they still have this comfort of just having the 3 drakes, and they can play for the Baron, and it makes sure that Dangerous Game has to contest them. Even when they are outscaled, it's a well thought out game plan for Peachfish, and they execute it well in terms of what they want to do in the game. But I'd like to just see some better
bit more
setup for these
clean.
fights.
Yeah, like a bit more clean team fighting, I would say. Definitely agree on that one. But yeah, Sok looking very good. Sorry, did I cut you off, Senj? I thought I heard you say something. Senj? No. Senj died. Okay, Sench died. Anyway, we're cutting to a quick commercial break for Super Bowl because I need to go get some water. But we'll be back in just 5 to 10 minutes. I'm gonna see if I can locate Sench. I think he got abducted by enemy jungler, ganked on weak side again. I can't believe they're selling my boy like this. Unbelievable. I'm going to go look for him, become a jungle main. We'll see you all in 5 to 10 minutes. Stay tuned for the next game of Peachfish Woof versus DG. Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are going into game 2 here of DG versus Peachfish Woof, and new up-and-coming mid laner Sok. Kind of looking great right now, big on the market, and yeah, we'll have to see how game 2 will be looking. Is there anything, Sanj, that you feel like DG should change up in this next game to kind of win early game, or perhaps getting some more dragons? I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably playing for these dragons is a start, to say the least. And I think that Peachfish move, they showed some resilience in this early game. They knew what they wanted to play for. Doc showing some great spacing and mechanics on the mid lane as well, leading to a really difficult game state for the Velcos to even contest, making it really hard for Dangerous Game to even punish these early games, even if it wasn't executed perfectly. But Sock definitely stonks in the market, and so does Peachfish Woof with this win. Now both teams sitting on 7 and 6, and we previously said that it's going to be exciting to see Peachfish go up against a relatively even matchup here versus Dangerous Game, and now both teams sitting on 7 and 6.
I mean, I definitely agree, right? When you said it, even matchup, I think this is one of the most even games we've seen. Like, really being close, every team fight going 2 for 2. That was very close. Like, I mean, we've seen games, right, with the kind of enemy team like kind of sweeps, so the win were big, right? But this team was very like close, close, close. 2K gold diff at like 56K. One fight and you just ended the game, right? So it's The small scale tipping in the favor of Peachfish Woof, and we have a spicy draft coming out here. Senna first pick, but we have Jack's top lane mid-rise. We have Caitlyn, a champ I absolutely abhor outside of the T1 bot lane. Trundle jungle and the Aatrox being picked up for DG. Shy City, I don't think I've seen him play Aatrox. It sounds a bit out of his flavor area. I think he's a tank man now.
I mean, I feel like tanks in a similar way to Aatrox needs to respect the early game, and maybe it's something we haven't seen from Shy City, but he's not picking it for nothing. He's maybe deciding to just take the pretty good option here of just going to Aatrox when you see Volibear and Ajax. Like, what do you realistically pick here if not something extremely out of the ordinary? Just picking up the Aatrox here, which has pretty decent laning phases against both of these champions, makes a lot of sense to me, and I like that direction for a Dangerous Game. In this game though, we're seeing Senna being picked up by Dangerous Game, opting out of the Seri Hyper carry comp, instead just picking the Senna up this time around with the Tahm Kench, taking that away from Peachfish Woof. But they respond with a Caitlyn, and that's something I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, Caitlyn is such a weird champ, right? And I don't really like. I feel like if they wanted to go Caitlyn, it should have been something like a Lux, like a Ashe, like a, I don't know, like a Varus. We've seen Kalista in pro play, but there's been a lot of picks. But I just feel like if you want to pick Kate, it kind of almost has to be double ranged. You path bot, you really play for it, and you just grab the entire tower before 14 minutes. But kind of opting for the Nautilus. I'm not sure I enjoy this Kate pick all too much, but maybe they will prove me wrong. I have been wrong many times before. But more interesting for me, I am a big Rice enjoyer, as some people may know, and the Rice out of Sok will be definitely something to watch out for. I remember we faced Assassin's Creed, I think it was, that had the switcheroo on Dragon, where we just TP'd out their entire team and took the Dragon right in front of us. So let's see what Sok has cooking for us.
Yeah, and although they don't necessarily have the double range on the bot side, they at least have the Nautilus, and they also have a roaming mid laner in the Ryze. I'm just not sure about how this matchup in mid lane goes, if this Ryze is actually able to keep push, but now Peachfish looking for an invade oppression, not spotting that, and now Zvulu now in danger.
Insta hook! It gets the flash, that's big. Karma.
Yeah, that's pretty massive, isn't it?
That is very massive. We better be pathing bot right now, TCL. If we're not pathing bot, we are capping hard. We are trolling. I don't care if that's a Jax. That guy could be a TF. We are pathing bot right now. We are capitalizing on this Senna.
Yeah, and the one thing to mention here as well is that Tahm Kench doesn't really have a great way of healing for this Senna if they just walk up in melee range, and if this Ryze is able to come to bot lane as well. This Senna is just awaiting death at this point. So it's going to be interesting to see how I Play You Listen and Lurks are able to play around this summoner spell being down for the side of Svullo. But what we can see now at least is that TCL is going for this top lane. But we can also see that the bot lane of PFW are camping in this bush, trying to find a bigger punish here. Lurks and Svullo might be... No, they're not late.
They're walking up with the wave. They're walking up with the wave. Very respectful here. Hard to get hooked. Lurks kind of aware of this cheese coming out. Very nice peeling here for his Caitlyn. They just absolutely outtrade the bot lane of Peach here. Doing very well there. Very nice by Lurks. He's looked very aware about the all-in about that from the bush. And yeah, they stay solid for the first wave, but it is not the first wave that we are scared about. It is the later wave where the Volibear comes down, and Flash Q from Volibear, unlike Nautilus Hook, very undodgeable. So depending on where the wave is, I wouldn't hate for the side of Peach to actually do like a 2-wave crash and then letting it push back into them. And by the time Volibear comes down, they could probably have a freeze at their turret. And by that point, the game is very unplayable for the side of DG unless Trundle helps them out.
And right now, we're just seeing both junglers going for their top side clears on relatively even timers here. I would imagine that the Trundle has some better tempo on the clear on jungle, but will be spotted out by the ward put down by the side of Peachfish. And that is some information over to the side of the fishes, and now maybe we see some adaptation coming in from Sok and TCL. if they're actually willing to go for this bot lane play, or if they're trying to find advantages elsewhere.
I mean, I feel like if any of the mid laners actually get good priority, roaming down for this bot play could be enormous, right? Because here they comes, they're trying to hard shove the wave. Lurks and Swillow realizing they're in a kind of an awkward spot, and if the bot lane of Peach decide to hold this wave, things could get dicey real quick. But meanwhile, Volibear is on the blue. This wave kind of crashing, Karma trying to hold it, and it will crash in the end. So the side of DG are kind of safe for a bit, and now it looks like we're looking for other angles in this game. Pathing over to mid lane is the Volibear doing.
Yeah, and I play you listen, trying to read the play that we were considering earlier, that the side of Dangerous Game can push out this wave, and eventually on the bounce, Peachfish Woof might find an angle, but I play you listen is spending some time here in bot lane, just making sure that this bot lane is safe. But the Volibear will eventually back, but he was spotted out as the pings were coming out for Dangerous Game. Not entirely sure what spotted them, but
They know
I
they're
would
alone
imagine...
here. They want to punish, hook onto Swollen there, no flash, but here comes that player, listen, insta-flash out of Karma, respecting the jungler, and nicely done there. Like, they get a good hook and like a decent trade, and I mean, the Trundle at some point will have to base. He can't just be down here forever, or maybe he can, I don't know, but he decides to go for the base. Meanwhile, no longer human, trying to punish on this wave state in top lane. Doesn't get the stun from the E though, and Shy City keeping himself very good in this lane phase still.
Yeah, and this is a matchup where Aatrox, if spacing well, he can have a completely fine laning phase, can even find advantages, but now oppression...
They're looking for the mid gank here. Sok might go for the flash EW. They do see TCL though, and he's pathing up. Do we get flash EW from Sokken? No, we do not, but prediction E from TCL, but it doesn't catch oppression. A bit too far away, but I like the attempt, and they get the flash out, so everything done is worth, and meanwhile, this bot lane is now free to pressure on the tower.
Yeah, but oppression being a bit quick on the trigger finger there, as I believe the Q from the Volibear would run out, and he would eventually not have to flash there, but the Peachfish Woof, they do get another summoner spell onto this mid lane this time, and that's also a target that they can easily play for. Now we see I Play You Listen going for this grubs, as TCL had spent some time in the mid lane, playing for this objective once again. And last time around, it didn't really show, and they didn't really have something to show for with this grub stake, but it's at least something.
I mean, it's something, right? And I mean, in the end, the bot lane of DG has not been punished for the flash down, which is now back for Svulu, so all's good that ends well, right? Like, in the end, they don't get punished for the flash down on Senna, and Shy City also being able to spot out the Volibear will be safe from the gank. Might even try for a cheeky recall stop here onto the Volibear. Yeah, he does get the recall. Stops the recall of Volibear, making him lose a little bit of time, but in the end, not a big deal, I would say. Now we have the Hex Flash from Karma here, trying a page out of Lurk's book, but not on the more spicy spot of the Raptors. Only Lurks knows the hidden moves.
But what we can see from the waves and the way that TCL is playing right now is that Peachfish Woof seems to be trying to play for this dragon once again. But I Play You Listen has some tempo on the clear in the jungle and might even be able to hit level 6 of his camps if they're able to get the level 6 on the Volibear. On the Eternal, it would be pretty massive, but TCL and Karma and Last Impression now playing for the dragon. Oppression will spot it out, but this 4v4 right now has to be favored for Peachfish.
Yeah, they're not in a position, although the bot lane is rotating up, it's just all too late for the side of DG. No way to contest it, and once again, Peach are kind of out-macroing DG here, being always a little bit faster on these early objectives, and that would be great for them, as, I mean, Ryze, Jax, your scaling is kind of bonkers this game. So they don't really mind taking this the slow and steady route. They're looking kind of similar to game 1, and I feel like we have to get a play out of DG somewhere to kind of make the game a little bit volatile. And here we go, TCL and Sok kind of getting caught in the middle here. I Play You Listen, reading the gank, and ult coming in from Hui, doing a lot of damage. TCL QW out of oppression, nice Hui combo, and that's all we need from DG, getting a bit of tempo back in this game.
Yeah, Oppression finding a nice kill here onto the Volibear. Now Karma finding a nice hook onto Lurks.
Traps missing though from the side of Lost Last Impression, not getting damage, but QE auto E missing, unfortunately, so doesn't get the Caitlyn passive. And Shy City, meanwhile, trying to all in onto No Longer Human, has I Play Your Listen in the back, so he's completely safe from ganks. And does get the flash, but No Longer Human still has a lot of HP, can still lane, so will be able to catch the wave, and no dive seems to be coming in. So yeah, all's well that ends well. Still pretty calm game, all things considered. Nice hook out of Karma, but do you even want that hook is the question. Swirl dealing damage back, but in the end, not much coming out of it. But Lurgs, hooking Lurgs in this lane feels like not the way you win this 2v2 battle.
Yeah, and the early game is going way better for Dangerous Game. Peachfish Woof did end up getting the Drake, but the lanes are looking a lot safer and better off this time around. Although No Longer Human has a small CS lead, it kind of comes with the matchup. And Wei being a bit snowballed here can definitely lead to some difficulties for Peachfish, as the range difference between his champion and the rest of the side of Peachfish can be problematic for them to deal with.
Definitely. I mean, they need to buy a lot of time, I feel like, to get... When they get to, like, the side lane portion of the game, the Ryze really will activate more, especially the Jax as well. Like, the 1-3-1 is very strong out of Peach. So, currently in the laning phase, I don't feel like they're hitting their big strengths. So, DG coming out with a much more solid early game this time around. Although they have not picked up a dragon, they might be trying for the 6 grubs again. We already see Trundle moving for it.
Yeah, and Dangerous Game's bot lane matching plays as well. And this Tahm Kench Senna seems to be going pretty unpunished right now. Now oppression under
TCL
some pressure
is
from
hovering the ball.
TCL.
Oh, he
He showed though.
a little bit of a boogie. What's it called? The Five Nights at Gwagas scare angle. And I Play Listen is all these grubs, but Sok is already here, and No Longer Human will be before the top lane as well. And they're fighting for it. Gets rooted though. Ult coming out of the way, dealing a lot of damage to Sok right now. And they steal the grub oppression, securing 5 grubs for the squad. And Peach actually leaving already, so it's looking like they might even get 6 grubs here, respecting it. But TCL trying to walk back, might look for the smite, but will not happen. And yeah, 6 grubs secured for the side of DG. And although we may or may not agree with the game plan, they are definitely getting the 6 grubs consistently right now. Also winning out of bot lane.
Yeah, and Dangerous Game, as I mentioned, is finding a lot of success in this early game. This Ryze pick has not been paying off too much, and the Volibear has been struggling as well. And this Trundle, I Play Listen, is piloting it pretty well here. And now looking onto Shy on a frozen wave here. Although Shy City decides to just clear them out. But I would imagine that if he tried to keep this wave state, it would be really terrible for the Jax, as he has no TP. But now TCL on bot side, they're trying to do something to accelerate this Caitlyn. 2 plates already, but that's not really enough when you're picking this champion.
I mean, they are building a CS diff and they're getting plates, but yeah, I agree. Like, Caitlyn is, I don't know, I feel like that champ, that's why we kind of need double range. You really have to pressure on the turret and just pick up a lot of gold from the tower, not necessarily kills, but yeah, Caitlyn kind of needs to snowball or at least be ahead, I would say, to be efficient. And right now, not really far enough ahead, especially comparing it to Senna that scales extremely well. But in the end, I mean, we'll have to see. Dragon is about to come up here, 10 seconds. And once again, Peachfish Woof are in a bit of a better position. Although TCL might get caught out here by the bot lane, will be fine and does secure the crab. So might be waiting on his smite to come back. But the last impression, already working on securing this bot prio, and if mid prio also comes in, they might just be going on Dragon. Although Volibear seems to be basing.
Yeah, although I would say that the Dangerous Game is not in that bad of a spot, and I wouldn't be surprised if they try to contest it this time around. Now, Sok getting some vision onto the Drake, Shy City and No Longer Human constantly trading on top side. That's just top lane for you, but TCL now coming off from the back has some item advantage onto the Trundle and is now looking stronger than ever to play for this Drake. Will decide to just go for the Wolves in this first case before Peachfish lanes gets the priority that they need to play for this. As Sok is constantly hovering out of vision, making it really awkward for the side of Dangerous Game's bot lane. to know how to really play right now. But
Yeah, they
they
have
will
to.
eventually see him on the mid wave. Trundle now walking into river.
Well,
Might
junglers
be
are
a
going to
small of a
collide
contest.
here. Junglers colliding in the river. A ward coming out though. They spot each other and they look at each other and they just kind of do nothing. And none of the teams are kind of willing to pull the trigger, I feel like. But how DG, they're going to kind of walk in here, trying to get onto Dragon, but Peach are all there and hovering it. So it's just a kind of back and forth. Karma trying to get the plants here, trying to sustain up, but I feel like both teams are kind of just waiting for a tiny bit of an overstep from either side where they will try to capitalize onto the enemy and not really willing to force a mistake, you can say, out of them.
Yeah, what I would say at least is that with this infinitely scaling Senna champion, it makes a lot of sense for Dangerous Game to just try to delay this dragon as much as possible, making sure that this is not a Drake stack
They're looking
possibility
for
for
the gank
Peachfish.
top lane.
They will just get this uncontested. Now Shy City
Here's
in
the
a bit
Realm
of
Warp.
trouble.
Here's the Realm Warp. They're all topside instead. They opted out of the Dragon. They're trying to capitalize on Shy City instead. Will TCL? He has to ult here. No. Boom! Here it comes. Flash R. Outplayed by the Volibear. No, it's unfortunately there's no way to outplay that. And they do secure a bit of a lead in top lane, but no plates. It's just a 300 gold basically, and taking that over the Drake. I'm not sure how I feel about that, to be honest. I much would have preferred to fight for the Drake, but they call for a play, they execute the play, and they do fine at it. So, and having Jax rise, I think you scale kind of well. So securing gold is not the worst thing. Hopefully they can start to side lane maybe soon though, because I feel like side laning will be where the strength of Peach are at, not really team fighting compared to the side of DG.
Yeah, and the dunk down comes onto the Aatrox. Now no flash on the Aatrox. Is a condition for Jax to try to find some solo bolos onto this champion, but we're seeing a bit of weakness coming out from Peachfish, not being able to play for these Drakes that they really would have wanted to. And now Oppression matching this bot lane here with this infinite wave
Sok
clear
is
on the
here,
way, but
though.
Sok is here.
They were going to look for the dive here, and Oppression kind of stuck in the turn. Not ulti Comer out first. TP is coming in from the Aatrox trying to protect him, but here comes the Rise combo, dealing damage, but way onto the TP gets stopped by Shy, so he can't rotate over. Karma flashing out, but here's Lurg trying to save the play, but he's all alone, and Volibear is also coming over. That's not a friendly target. Hook coming in, he might be able to eat up the Nautilus here to clean up one kill. No, he does not eat, not sure why, but he decides to let Karma walk away. I guess that's a yin and yang. He had good karma, you let him be, and they're going to take this bot turret now. Meanwhile, Herald coming in mid lane, so there will be a bot lane trade for the mid lane, but also a kill going over to the side of Peach. But double charge here onto tier 2. If they get tier 2, I think this play is kind of worth it for DG.
Yeah, they do get a mid lane tower, but now the Caitlyn and Nautilus will move into mid lane, and they do finally find a good play onto the bot side. Which is something to note, as Peachfish and Woof have been trying to make this bot side work, but they haven't really found their footing. But with this kill, maybe something changes. You can only hope.
I mean, they're slowly inching back a lead, right? They're using the Rise roaming around the map, trying to use the Realm Warp to find picks on the side lanes. I don't really dislike the way they're playing it, although I just wish they would have fought for the Dragon earlier. But yeah, like, they're inching out some wins on the side lane, but we'll have to see how it turns out. I mean, having a Caitlyn in mid lane, no tower up, it's kind of an awkward position, and it's kind of easy to get caught out, although enemy jungle is Trundle, so they don't have the best catch potential, should be fine. But yeah, I'm hoping they can snowball this Jax a bit more, because I'm pretty sure, I mean, you are an Aatrox aficionado, but if Jax gets ahead, I feel like this matchup can be quite rough for the side of the Aatrox.
Yeah, it's a matchup that can snowball in both directions. It's not as favored for Jax to find something on his own as it would be with a Fiora or something like a Camille, but now
Hook
Karma
up
finding a nice hook
big
and a triple
Nautilus
knockup.
Triple knockup indeed, and Lurgs gets rooted up, can't W out, taking a lot of damage from the Rise right now. QW out of Hui coming in, but here's another hook from Karma, hooking out the Lurg, past the flash out, but a lot of damage trading back. Hui ult is missing though, and meanwhile the Rise is dealing damage. Trundle trying to punch him, but here is Shy City on the flank. Huge Qs coming in, and the Realm Warp cannot Realm Warp you anywhere except to the Shadowlands. And 2 kills going over to DG. Meanwhile, Shy trying to punch on the top side, but nice play there. Very big flank from Shy City.
Yeah, and in the meantime, Shy will find the top lane tower, but it's a favored trade for Dangerous Game, and now they might even be able to get this mid lane tier 2 that they have set up pretty decently for, and these 6 grubs are just going to melt this tower.
Well, they're trying to force back here, though. I'm not sure what's happening. I can't see any TP coming in, but Shy is on the left side. Does have everything up. Shield coming in, but last impression clearing it. And here's the TP coming out of Sok here, trying to hunt down Svulu. Maybe doesn't have any sums. Can he get the W off? There's the root. Gets an EQ again. Combo very low. Sok has no flash, but he's trying to run after him with face rush. TCL on the flank, though. Doesn't have flash either, but very fast. Volibear running at Svulu. Q times out, though, and Svulu just walks away. And in the end, it's just a 1 kill. Or not even a 1. You know, 1 kill over to last impression, I believe.
Yeah, but they at least do find a pretty decent fight here. I was wondering whether Shy would TP here as well, but
Kind
they
of
do
awkward TP
find...
mode, I guess. But he has a ward there, actually. He could have TP'd for this play. Probably wasn't expecting the Aatrox roam, to be honest.
Yeah, a good play here coming in for a Dangerous Game on the previous fight, but Peachfish having some tempo and finding a way to fight back. And now Dangerous Game is looking for this dragon, but no flash.
Armaze here,
on
hook
the-
got to oppression, already coming in, not ult with the Kittle, doing a lot of damage, going down instantly. Meanwhile, gets traded back, the Trundle killing him in the side, and here comes Aatrox TP coming in. He's got the free backline to kill, but meanwhile the enemy backline is also getting harassed by the Jackson Volibear. Shy City is going low, but Thunder Sky healing a lot right now, but last impression with some impressive kiting, and in the end, with the frontline kiting back, that's a 2-for-1 for the side of Peach, and they are probably going to pick up this dragon, and Hextech Soul will instantly end this game for any side, so nice pickup. They're probably going to look to tempo on the mid turret here as well, since most of GG will have to base.
Yeah, and the oppression just barely not having flash here ends up just falling, and the E flash for the Jax is finally showing up in this fight and just zoning the entire side of Dangerous Game, who doesn't really have too much damage against the Volibear and Jax at this point of time. Last impression and Sok just finishing off the Aatrox, who was massive in the previous fight. And they find a good fight actually, and do end up getting the second dragon that they've been desperately trying to find this game. But as they do not get the tower as well, it's a good play and some gold going into the pocket of Peachfish Woof.
They also get a lot of ship damage there. As you mentioned, they couldn't really clean up the mid turret. Would be nice to take to open up the map. I believe it's the last tier 1 standing for the side of DG. But yeah, now both teams probably looking for Baron, but finally we're going to be seeing the 1-3-1 coming in here for Peach, and now with their silence being ahead, we're going to see Shy City trying to find an angle here onto Shy City, and Shy City, man, these names too equal, and ult coming out of Jax, but nothing will happen. Just trade ults and kind of back off. Shy respecting the damage from City, and just backing off for now. But yeah, we're probably going to be seeing more and more of these activities in side lane. At least I hope so. And there are spot on the ward. They do see them rotating mid, and the Karma being on the move. And maybe they're looking for a play on the mid lane here. Svulu does not have flash right now.
Yeah, but what we could say is that Peachfish Woof are starting to see some benefits coming from this Jax being able to push the waves and contest the side lane. Now Oppression in trouble, does have flash, but it seems like to be a really difficult spot to get out from. Will eventually not burn the summoner and will just accept fate and die on top lane to Sok and T-Stel.
Yeah, that Realm Warp from Sok flanking immediately. Hook coming out of Karma to iPlay. Listen, does force a ghost. So very nice from Karma. He's getting a free summoner essentially. Now they're pinging onto Baron. They know that they have the Jackson bot lane. Will get pressure onto the tier 2 right now, and they know that someone has to respond. They haven't confirmed Shy City yet, but he doesn't have TP. Meanwhile, Shy does have TP. They will confirm in about a second. Here comes TP, but it does get cancelled by the Aatrox in bot lane. So this will be a 4v4, which is kind of good for DG. Or a free v4, I would say, but the pressure up is 6 seconds. Hook coming in, Eat coming out of Lurk, saving his jungler. Karma going low, Senna ult almost clipping him. Ult also from Trundle, very low. And meanwhile, TCL has to flash out of the pit, going very low. Svulu cleaning up Karma on the front line, and now this play is looking kind of bad for the side of Peach. Meanwhile, no longer human, kind of stuck in nowhere. Gets pillared off of the portal. Might be death for him. Will he be able to do anything? Does try to clean up the Trundle here. looking for the last auto attack. Can he find the vision? Not really, and Aatrox just on him like butter on toast. Can he get this kill 1v1? Doesn't really have the combo. Q3 missing. Does he find the trundle? Oh, there comes the bite. Does he have the E? No, no mana, and Shy City will clean up the kill. Meanwhile, we see that last impression barely escapes the side of Oppression and Lurgs. And in the end, this Baron turning out quite poorly for the side of Peach, but there is not enough tempo, it seems like, from DG to actually clean up the Baron in the opposite side. And are they looking to dive Sock here on this tower? Looking a bit spooky. Will insta-clear the wave. Fear QW coming in, but Seraphs is there, and I think they will have to back off of this play here on Sock, because here's the entire squad of Peach. Hex Flash is coming in, TCL looking for the flank. Lurgs kind of overextended here, but they're looking for Oppression. They do not care about the support. Stun coming in, EW from them. TP out of Aatrox is coming right now, and there's no way to respond for Shy. TP is down, and now it's a 4v3 for the side of DG. Looking to clean up the Volibear here, has no ult, trying to queue out, but does get pulled back by the Aatrox. And that is a clean kill for DG, and now they're looking to really convert this top turret. Hook coming out of Karma, I'm not sure, that looks a bit overambitious, and he gets instantly taken down by the entire team of DG. And they're just hunting them down right now. Will not get too much more action though. They are safe under their tier 2 for now. But two nice kills. I think they could actually look to try and convert Baron here off this, but they are not really insta going on it, and the longer these timers go, the less of a power play this becomes. Shy City, once again, man, this guy loves stepping back! Leave these people alone, Shy City. They got families, man. They need to go to work.
Yeah, but it's a series of despair for Peachfish. You said that they didn't really have tempo for the Baron. But this Jax, he queued under the tier 2 on the bot side and instantly started channeling TP in Aatrox's face. It was quite unfortunate for Shy there, as this could have been a 5-4 situation for Peachfish on the Baron, as Aatrox was on bot side, but it ends up just being
Talking about
so
a 5v4.
bad for Peachfish.
Lurch is in base right now, and they're still hovering this, but there's 5 people from the side of Peach, and if they recognize that he's in base, they could just go for the Shy City very deep right now in River. They don't know that Lurks isn't here though. They don't know, they don't have critical information. And they're just looking for this fight. Oh, a huge Q2 from Shy, dealing a lot of damage. Meanwhile, I play Listen, trying to sound last impression. Does get rooted up though and stunned from Volibear. Eat out of Lurk, saving his jungler once again. And Sock kind of in dangerous position. Huge selling! And Shy City cleaning the backline together with Oppression's QW. Lurk's W hitting onto the Jets. And this is a clean sweep from the side of DG. Aatrox is unstoppable in this team fight.
Yeah, and you asked the question whether Shy City can pilot this Aatrox 3, 2, and 7 right now, but in this fight it looked like the man was possessed and just completely wiped the side of Peachfish Woof almost by his own lonesome. Finding a good Q1 and Q2 here into the engage onto the boss side, just keeping the entire top side of Peachfish Woof just in his face and just flashing forward, going absolutely crazy on the backline.
I have no idea why they've been keeping this guy on Ornal this time. Bro should be playing Aatrox every game by this point. But yeah, definitely clean, and we get the clean sweep and the dragon over to DG. So 2-2 for Drakes and a gold lead, a 5k gold lead actually to DG. So finally we see a bit of a differential happening in this game. So after this, we'll have to see, can the side of DG convert this advantage into something more? The only objective standing right now is the Baron, and I would love to see them try for it, hoping to catch someone out, because 1v1 is going to come in for Peach again, but that means they are also vulnerable to getting ganked by the squad of DG. So we'll have to see. Are there any plays going to come out from the side of DG trying to punish this Ryze or Jax?
Yeah, generally what I like to see from the team that is actually ahead is to just, with the team comp that DG has, is to just play the 4-1, just put the Aatrox on the sideline. He should be fairly fine to just go into the Jax right now and try to push for some advantages, find more gold, find more when you're already ahead, and it's going to be really hard for Peach Woof to find any response to that kind of play. Flipping on the Baron right now could be one of Peachfish's ways back into the game. Although right now we will see Shy City just going down to the bot side, Oppression also hovering down there.
Speaking of
Whilst,
flipping on the Baron, maybe iPlayer Listen is looking to start this up, but not yet. He's staying patient. Lurgs is side laning. I guess he is actually a, what do you call it? Not fasting, a hungry catch. So he's eating minions and grinding. And meanwhile, Engage coming to Karma, trying to get vision. Kind of fails to flash over the wall. Will go down to the side of DG. And with that pick, we might see them start up Baron here in the 4v5 situation. Meanwhile, Sok is facing the Aatrox on the bot lane. No MR for him yet, so I'm not sure if he will be able to versus this Ryze. Level 16 is coming in, and Sok looking kind of aggressive here. But meanwhile, the Baron is started, and none of the members of Peach are moving for it. I don't know if they are aware this is happening, but the damage is pretty low. TCL will see it with the E, so now they know that the Baron is definitely on the cards. And they're trying to stop him from getting over Root coming in. They're trying to clean him up so they don't have the 50-50 the smite fight, and Lurg zoning very nicely. Now they can actually try and clean this Baron up, and there it is. Goes down to the side. And meanwhile, Sok trying to find an advantage on the side lane here, trying to 1v1 the Aatrox, and he has hit the 16 power spike, but damage is there, but lifesteal is insane. But meanwhile, Caitlyn is here. Will he get the root? Damn, big damage, and shutdown goes over to Ryze. That rotation is very nice from inside of Peach. Realizing they lost the Baron, they're still able to pick up one tier 1 and a tier 2 turret. So not too bad so far in this Red Bull
also a
power
shutdown
play.
onto the Aatrox, and this Ryze is getting a bit snowballed here. And it's definitely some light being being shed onto the side of Peachfish. Now
We'll have to see. There's gonna be Dragon in 130, and the Dragon in 130. I mean, I feel like Peach, like Ryze, scaling very well, and so does Jax. But in team fights, those champs are a bit awkward to execute compared to like the bulk of Aatrox, Hui, Senna. Just kind of very easy front to back. And the other side has a Caitlyn. I'm not sure that Peach will actually find their advantages in these team fights anymore. I feel like they have to kind of force the issue on the side lanes. And it does look like Sok is screen share or looking at the cast right now, because he's doing exactly that, looking to push out top lane.
yeah, and what we could say at least is that Peachfish Woof, if they do find a target, that target will be completely blown up. And if they find a pick, man advantages changes a lot. Which makes it a lot easier for them to find something more. But Karma now, no
Killer
flash, as he tried
blocking the
to
hook.
flash away earlier, but the E from
There.
Senna will not land. But
Oh, a
iPlayer
lot
Listen
of
just going
damage!
rapidly.
Senna, a QW from Hui, and here comes the Senna ult, and there it is. Swillow does clean the kill. A lot of damage coming back from Last Impression onto iPlayer Listen, but he's still alive and kicking. And meanwhile, we have Shy on the flank. He's coming from the blue side. Sok is also here. They are in a 4v4 situation, but Shy City does have TP, so this will be a 4v5 if they decide to go for it. Oh, no longer human, looking for that big stun here. TP is already coming in preemptively, and Shy has to flash out immediately, trying to chase him down now. Recognizing flash is down, but QCD is a bit too short. Does escape, but now they can just turn onto the Dragon, and they lose nothing in the side lane.
Yeah, but dangerous game. Finding the tower with the depth onto the Nautilus as well. I would not imagine that Peachfish would ever consider trying to contest this Drake, and it will be the sole point for DG coming in.
Definitely,
And
this
it's
is
looking
scary.
better and better for Dangerous Game. As you said, they do have a really easy team comp to execute in the team fights, and their team fight comp is definitely paying off in this case.
Definitely paying off. And now that clock is here, 5 minutes to really do anything in the side lane. I feel like the side of Peach has to find some form of almost immediate advantage, because they have knocked down a tier 2, but I feel like they almost have to knock down a inner turret. But Shy City is going to walk into here, and they have 2 people in the bush. Stun coming out of Oliver, EW, and he instantly ults. That lifesteal is insane. And meanwhile, a very experimental ult coming out of Sok there right next to him. But that means Shy City will escape the situation, because Sundered Sky is a totally balanced item, and please don't nerf it, right? I love being viable in top lane and not being irrelevant. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, and the Eclipse and the Sterek Shield also just coming up makes Shy City literally unkillable, and it's going to be even more and more difficult if he were to pick up some MR. But Sok and TCL trying to find a play onto the Aatrox. They do eventually get the flash. Now
bot
Shy
lane.
on the other side though.
Getting caught out with oppression. He's onto him like butter on toast once again. Q will come up. W does clean the kill barely. And that is a good trade for Shy. And meanwhile, Peach tried to tempo down mid lane, recognizing everyone rotated down to bot lane. Flash coming out of Lurks, has to respect the hook from Karma, and this mid tower should be going down. But after that, it's a straight up 4v4, and I think it's still in favor of the side of DG, so they're deciding to back off here. But nice tempo play coming out of PFV, just capitalizing on that. Oh wait, we have a TP out here! Hooked to the left wall! We're dabbling and sliding to the left, dancing tango. Meanwhile, Shai sit in, but the shutdown is already there to front, and Rise is just eating well tonight! That's 2 kills over to Peach, and a massive mistake from DG. Baron not up yet, but they should be able to possibly take this top tier 2 or just base and recall to get good tempo, but 2 big kills coming in.
Yeah, even 3 with a 300 gold shutdown on the way. Jax is getting some gold into his pockets. Sok is getting even more, and Caitlyn as well. Now sitting on a 250 gold shutdown. 3 items on the Caitlyn. Although it's not a traditional scaling champion, it's a champion that can deal a lot of burst damage, and you can see it on the Aatrox that he completely just falls when he doesn't have the Sterak's. Like, he just gets a one shot like anyone else. And
yeah, the damage from
PFW
Rise.
finding back-to-back good plays and playing the macro really cleanly. Finding a tower in the mid lane and so much gold, and clawing their way back into this game. Now only 2k gold lead, which was previously a 6k gold lead. More dangerous game in this game.
Yeah, like Sok, or like not Sok, I feel like Peach, they have been like the victim of these plays usually in side lane, but they're still managing to react very well. So if Shai goes down in bot lane, they instantly try to rotate by pushing in the mid wave and playing the other side of the map where the play is happening. And so far they've been punishing pretty well. And I mean, this Rise, he did opt for the Sonias. I would have actually liked to see a Rabadons. As you mentioned, any EW from Rise means instant death if Last Impression can put down the W. That is just way too much damage. It doesn't even matter if you're... Oh, flash out of Karma! Will get the Q on the IP list, and he has no flash, only Ghost. Kind of getting stuck here. Big 8 out of Lurgs! Lurgs with a huge Tom R, and this Tom Kench pick in this series has to be the most hotly contested pick I've ever seen, because damn, he'd be saving lives.
Yeah, and once again, I Play You Listen didn't use the subjugate, so they can
It's
actually
a
still
Baron.
contest this, but this
No
goes
flash.
so down fast.
There's already down, there's no flash from I Play Listen, and Shai City kind of getting caught in the middle of the grinder machine, but so is TCL going down, and Whale is hitting onto Shai, kind of stuck in the middle of the enemy team, taking a lot of damage from the center right now, and he's getting actually sold by his entire team for 500
God.
gold, but does he kill Lurks? Very close, doesn't kill him yet, but damn, these plays are just everywhere, man. That dragon just melted like nothing. The Kate Rise is so scared right now to walk into Shai City. He's like, damn, I can lifesteal up, but he just instantly pops.
Yeah, and you can see it just burning down quickly. Shai
Oh
City
my
just
God.
disrespecting the amount of damage
Oh,
that can come
Lord.
out from Peachfish comp, and no longer human. And the anti-heal coming in as well just means that this Aatrox, even though he's pretty strong, he's just gonna fall as well. Shai almost finding the kill onto Lurks as well, but it will end up for a 2-for-1 trade, and the Baron going over for Peachfish Woof, and the TP on the Jax is still up, so they can definitely get back onto the map.
No W coming out of Caitlyn though. And now it looks like we're going to NA, baby, near airport. Be ready for it, because we are A-ramming, baby. God bless. It's just going to be a straight up 5v5, baby. Anyone who wins this is going to win the game. And Lurks kind of trying to 1v1. Does the trap come down, though? Trap is down, and boom! Caitlyn headshot! His hands are shaking, but he keeps on shooting, and he's still hitting headshots. God bless. Last Impression, famous COD player. No, not really. I have no idea.
Oh,
Karma
and
trying to
Shai
zone
actually
here.
playing for the mid lane push now.
Definitely, this dragon is just dead! What? This damage is just brutal! And now they're kind of out-tempoed, stuck in red sun, and Shai getting this push in is actually huge. He's gonna
Yeah,
be able to
they're
beat
just
up the
being
turret.
dragged around the
Here
map.
comes TCL! Does he get the vulnerable? Not really, but they're trying to go for it, but now Shai kind of left alone, but he can rotate down on top side. Does decide to go in, looking for oppression, trying to link up with his team. He's just gonna go down in the grind machine. Kind of a bad move right there, and then the Whale's hitting. Just instantly kills Last Impression. Shai City looking for the world ender. Maybe he will end this game as well. QW from Wei trying to ult out with the Rise. Sonias, that does not work anymore. Patched out in the old seasons, and that is 4 clean kills going over to DG. Will they be able to end on this push mid? It might be.
No longer human, trying to find the
Oh,
Q back to his
TCL.
team.
The Lord
That is
is
the
walking
early
up.
E.
Oh my God,
These
it's
E's
free
needs to
dragons.
hit if they're going to save this game. 20
Can he clear
seconds
the
on
wave?
Last Impression.
He can clear the wave, maybe. If he clears the wave, they can actually stay in the game. Oh, good Lord. He's trying to eat the wave. Oh, they're going to try for it though. You have to ult the wave, TCL.
has to ult
E,
it.
W, E ult right now. There he goes. He's doing it. He's listening to cast, smiting the minion, trying to get the protection down. But 1 minion! 1 minion stands! A hero! Save Private melee minion! And that is the game for DG. And we have a 1-1, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be a draw. God! These two series just came down to one team fight, Sedge.
Oh my god. All of that effort to try to get back into this game and
Oh.
finding constant picks with the Rise W and the Caitlyn traps. And it
Bro,
leads to a pretty good game state again for Peachfish Woof. And it seemed like Dangerous Game didn't really know what to do as Peachfish was just dragging them around the map. But it ends up in just one small overstep from Shy.
Can we see can we pull up the kill onto Lurgs from the Caitlyn trap again? I just want to see that damage again. Like, bro is literally a full tank and got popped.
Yeah, he believed it was a tank, but
Nah, I thought it was
not
tanking.
the last
but
impressions,
nah.
Caitlyn.
That was crazy. It was just at the end, Pepper, if you wanted to check it just before the Drake. But yeah, like, oh my god. Like you mentioned, Sench, sweating for 40 minutes just to lose like that. Oh, Shy thought he had the angle to stun, but he was under turret. His team sold him. Meanwhile, Hui just annihilating. Very strong performance for oppression on the Hui. Like, that Hui might be very contested. I feel like a lot of the SLE mid laners have been able to get quite solid on Hui now, and I think that pick will be quite up there, to be honest.
Yeah, pick to look out for in the upcoming playoffs, and both teams picking up 1-1 is going to pull them closer to the playoffs contention spots, but it's going to feel pretty rough for both as well, as none of them managed to
Here we
get
go.
that 2-0.
Dude, look at Lurks.
So
He has Frozen Heart. Like, he has Frozen Heart. I mean, that's Redemption in Night's Vow. But, like, look at this damage. This is through a Frozen Heart, man. Oh.
He has absolutely popped.
This is crazy, man. I love it. That shit is crazy. And it's too nuts for me, man. But yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure if I have a clear MVP, but I think I will actually hand it over to Sok. I feel like he made quite a splash on this Peach team. And yeah, we'll have to see the 1-1. I feel like DG, kind of the masters of drawing. Maybe the D in DG does stand for drawn game, not dangerous game. We'll have to see. But this keeps both of the teams kind of in contention for playoffs. So no team out yet. And the next game of the Super Week will definitely show who gets to stay and who gets to go home.
Yeah, but Sok having a pretty stellar series. Not finding the initial value on the Rise, but later on, he definitely did find a lot of massive plays for Peachfish to crawl back into this game. But the Oppression's way was just too much for them to deal with at the end, just completely one-shotting the Caitlyn as well to end the game. And my MVP for this game has to go over to Oppression for that sole reason. Though Dangerous Game had a way better early game this time around, and it shows some level of adaptation, which is really what you're looking for when you're going into the playoffs. You need to be able to find adaptations from game to game, and they showed a much better well direction in this game and knew what they kind of wanted to play for. At least they had the Senna that they had scaling, and they delayed the Drakes. They eventually get the Drakes as well, and they play with the tempo in the jungle to slowly but surely make TCL's life miserable. It comes down to just a small mistake on the inhib tower from Shy, and it ends up in a 1-1. But Dangerous Game having a way better showing in game 2. But this series, were so close, and I would be excited if we were able to see these two teams go up against each other again.
Dude, a best of 5 between these two teams would be insane, actually. But with that said, I think we are done for today, unfortunately. And with this, we will drop you all off for tonight. I think we are having some game stream tomorrow. Let me quickly double check the schedule. I don't think anything's scheduled yet, so we don't know, but let me assure you, there will most likely be some game stream tomorrow and on Sunday. So stay tuned, everybody, for some more SLE action this weekend. And with that, I wish you all a good night.